the Quezon Huskers. Still missing Judel Fuentes, the backcourt of LJ Gonzalez and Joshua Hierro. Up front, Joseph Cabayni, Al Francis Tamsi, and Vince Magbuhos. The North Division champions begin with Jason Brickman, Mike Ayonayon, Gio Chu, John Uduba, and Dave Ildefonso. Our game officials for this game are Jay Castroverde, Richard Carpio, Jackson Mabandos, and Brian Ramirez. And the two coaches already shared their thoughts, Coach Mike, on how they're approaching this series. Coach Yong Garcia for ABRA, Coach Eric Gonzalez for Quezon. And with the Huskers, Coach Mike, this is their second consecutive appearance in the national stage. But Coach Eric, putting things into perspective, last season, they went up against a team that defended their championship, but this time around, against an equally mighty ABRA Solid North Weaver squad as they get the tip here, Coach Mike. Nakikita niya no, na meron silang pagkakataon because despite everything that ABRA has achieved, largely, they've been unproven until all the way here in the national finals.
Yeah, indeed. And katulad nga na-mention ni Coach Eric, maaaring hindi pa defending champion itong ABRA Weavers, but to their part, experience really is the best teacher. And so you being there, na nakalaban mo na yung powerhouse ng Pampanga Giant Lanterns, ngayon, pagkakataon naman na sila naman ang matawag na defending champions kung makukuha nila itong titulong ito this season.
This is the first time that Brickman and LJ Gonzalez are facing off against each other. Quezon getting a stop. Hierro kicks it out. Al Tamsi. Shot fake. Pasa palabas kay Vince Magbuhos, who had that solid outing in game number 5 against Binyan. Now it's with LJ Gonzalez. 9 on their shot clock. Takes the free. And a good sign for the Huskers as Gonzalez hits it from downtown.
Well, if there's one thing that LJ has done so well this playoffs is to see that beautiful pass by Jason Brickman over to Gio Chu. Well, LJ's pretty much shot the ball very well. He picks his spots, understands when he's needed to score and when he's needed to assist or rebound for his team.
Quezon in that series against Binyan got off to slow starts, especially in their losses. So that's gonna be key, Coach Mike, no? Lalo they're on the road facing off against ABRA.
Oo, totoo yan. And them being here is again a good chance for them to prove themselves. The last time that they were here and they battled against ABRA, it was pretty much a slow start, so to speak, for the Quezon Huskers. But now, you know, with things being different and new guys coming in, gusto nilang patunayan na, you know, they got a shot against the Weavers.
Dave Ildefonso, who had 25 points in that elimination round game against Quezon, got fouled. Also something to watch. Quezon is one of the foul-prone teams in the MPBL. So double-edged sword, no? Isa na pinapakita nila dito sa ating liga.
At kadalasan napafoul sila. So see a good jumper right there by Dave Ildefonso. Kadalasan napafoul ito mga Quezon Huskers when they start going inside the paint. When they try to look for those layups. And especially if they make their threes, there's a huge tendency that their opponents will foul them inside the paint.
Joseph Cabayni earning another starting nod for the Huskers. Gonzalez, kick out pass. Magbuhos lines it up from the corner. He misses. Brickman, nasundutan sa likod. It will stay with the Weavers. They're up 4-3.
Now that's a matchup, Ken. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to Jason Brickman against LJ Gonzalez. You see that good jumper right there by Dave Ildefonso, contrary to how they played in the regular season to start that game. No struggle so far, even for Jason Brickman on that three.
Has shot the ball well, efficiently at that from beyond the arc. Jason Brickman drills a three.
He's averaging about 52% shooting from three the entire playoffs. One of the top three-point shooters. See a good block right there by Gio Chu.
Supalpal, inabot ni Magbuhos kay Gio Chu. Brickman momentarily losing LJ. They go to Dave Ildefonso on the right side. Guarded by Joshua Hierro. Pulls back for three. Cabayni comes away with a rebound. 7-0 run by the Weavers.
Yeah, kung ikaw naman ang Quezon Huskers, nagugustuhan mo dito, 1 and done lang ang opensa nitong ABRA Weavers. Wala nang second shot opportunities. We secure that rebound and run our side.
LJ with back-to-back triples as he pulls Quezon to within 1, 7-6.
This is one thing that was missing noong regular season meeting nila, yung 3-point makes para dito sa Quezon Huskers. And it is very important for them to be really good at that because ito ang mga primary weapons nila offensively.
Rickman nakalusot, Mintes, pero nandoon si Jeo Chu to clean it up.
Well, that's the first offensive rebound and not much you can do with that big guy, Jeo Chu, claiming that offensive board and turning it into 2 points for the Weavers.
9-6 as we are now at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Joshua Yero, who had 8 points in the first quarter of game number 5 against Binyan, missing on a 3. Ayon na yun. Uduba, pinasa muna kay Jason Brickman. Jiu-Chu offering a pick. Skips it to Dave Ildefonso. Working on Joshua Yero. Fires a pass to Mike Ayon. In trouble. Still time remaining on their shot clock. But the air ball's a free as Al Tamsi is down on the floor for the Huskers.
Now really a good set for the ABRA Weavers. A little bit of confusion on which layer of the offense, ano yung pupuntahan nila. They thought they still had time, but you know, late in the shot clock na yun, naging tira na yun para dito kay Mike Ayon.
Tamsi a bit shaken up. He will be reprieved in the meantime by Christian Pagaran. ABRA is up by 3 points, 9-6. And Coach Mike, with Coach Yong Garcia naman, binanggit ni Coach Eric na mayroong pagkakataon yung kanyang kupunan given the relative inexperience nitong ABRA pagdating sa stage na ito. This is their very first time in the national final. Samantala, with Coach Yong Garcia, he recognizes as well that they're facing off against a team that has experienced the grandest stage here last season against the two-time defending champions, Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
And that to me is really just knowing your opponent, where they're coming from, the type of experience that they've had, their personnel, their schemes. See this set up right here for that straight-up 3 by LJ.
Three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
And it's gone pretty good in terms of three-point makes. Like we said earlier, last 4 games is 47% shooting, going 8 of 17 from 3, and the last 4 for LJ.
Ildefonso misfires. Rebound, LJ Gonzalez. He pushes.
Nice.
Oh, open in the lane. Santagon lays it up and in.
Well, ganina pinag-usapan natin kung depensa ang pag-uusapan, talaga nga naman tops itong dalawang teams na to. It really matters when you catch them late in their defensive schemes, and that time around, ganda ng pagkaka-open na yun para kay Simon.
ABRA shooting 40% while Quezon 33.3% from the field. Serrano comes in early for the Weavers. His shot off the heel, and ball will go back to Quezon. Rebounding, Coach Mike, is also going to be key in this series as we first take a look at this assist of the game powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa Legit.
A little bit of confusion who was going to take that roller. Si Enzo Serrano was supposed to be the low man help, but he came in late and libre na si Simon Sandagon in that instance.
Coach Yong Garcia challenging that last out-of-bounds play. Will be back for the result of this one.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge from Coach Yong Garcia. So ball will stay on the side of the Weavers.
And that ball got tipped. Oh yeah, clearly it was on Yero. Coming off his fingertips before it went out.
Fresh 14 on their shot clock. Brickman will trigger it in from the baseline na kay Enzo Serrano ang bola. Ang kanyang pantay ay si Alvin Abundo. Pinasa muna kay Dave Ildefonso. 5 on their shot clock. Brickman about the same spot. This time, he misses.
Well, clearly, they had somebody work on defensively against Jason. Oh, what a move!
Dami nilusutan ni LJ doon. Napasa niya kay Christian Pagaran, who hit that big free late in game number 5 against Binyan. Knocks down another one here. As deflection from Vince Magbuhos, he receives the pass. Ups down on that jumper.
That's
now
a
it's
shot.
Abundo. He drives, lays it up and in with his left hand.
Well, you see how that paint was clear. Nobody was in there. And really just allowed Alvin Abundo for that left-hand finish. But you like the unselfishness of the Quezon Huskers. But I felt one of those two guys that got that ball, either Pagaran or Magbuhos, already had a shot. But the good thing, Alvin Abundo was still able to get inside the paint and finish off with a left-handed layup.
Play of the Game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit your game, your chance, your thrill. Only with 747 Live.
Gio Chu had to commit himself to that long closeout. Didn't want to stay home. Only because, you know, siguro by scouting, si Alvin Abundo isa sa mga three-point shooters na binabantayan rin nila. And so when you see him on that side of the floor and he's free, you have to go out and challenge his shot.
Raven Gonzalez and Ryan Batino are now in for ABRA. Encho puts it on the deck. Spins, turns around, and hits a jumper over RJ Minerva.
Every time you have Encho Serrano, left side of the floor, on a two-dribble move and a spin going the lane side, you know that's his patented move, and he's very comfortable finishing it.
Abundo, ganap na papasahan, pinuntahan si Sandagon. Drop pass to RJ Minerva, lost it. Pagaran recovers, jump shot from the baseline, it's good.
So far, ang ganda ng ball movement na itong Quezon Huskers. It's making that defense rotate constantly for the Weavers, catching it late and then attacking it.
Dave, met by Minerva. It's with Brickman. Momentarily escaping Eman Tagle. Jumper off the mark. Offensive rebound. Grabbed by Ryan Batino. He forces his way in and he kisses it off the glass and in for the ABRA Solid North Weavers.
Well, simula nung pumasok si Gio Chu at yung pagganda ng performance ni Raven Gonzalez, there's been little talk about Alfred Batino, but you see the value of Batino. When things don't work, he's one option that you can go to offensively and even defensively.
Quezon so far has been breaking down itong depensa nitong ABRA. Another basket courtesy of Simon Sandagon.
How important is ball and man movement? Nobody going on multiple dribbles for the Huskers. They just keep on moving that ball, making that defense work.
Serrano backing down Abundo. Shot no good. The follow-up is good for Encho Serrano. 17-15. Lamang ang Quezon ng dalawa. 72 seconds remaining in the first period. Eman Tagle, the pass to Minerva. Sandagon, the fake. Goes up strong. 2 points for Sandagon for a total of 6 here in quarter number 1.
One of the things that the Huskers did, Ken, in the fourth quarter of that regular season game, as you see that floater in there by Raven Gonzalez, was they used JP Sarao and the other bigs going on a foot speed battle inside the paint for the Huskers. And that worked. And I'd like to think they are continuing it now here in game number 1.
Minerva sa bandang kaliwa. Sandagon up top. 5 seconds left sa kailang shot clock. Abundo. Pasa kay Minerva. Fires a free and buries that one to give Quezon a 5-point lead, 22-17.
They're forcing the bigs of the Weavers to get out of the paint and challenge those threes. And every time they make those, talaga mapapaisip ka kung ikaw ang big ng Weavers.
9 seconds remaining. This is a good sign if you're the Huskers, not yet in penalty late in this period. Again, binanggit natin na bagamat sila yung isa sa mga pinakamatitibay na depensa dito sa ating liga, Coach Mike, their penchant for getting into foul trouble early has at times given them trouble, especially in that Binyan series.
Right. And minsan nagiging detrimental sa kanila. But they really, that's how it is. And again, if you get them to the free throw line, you got to forget about that and move on to the next defensive coverage.
Serrano. Nice help defense by Will Gozom. The flip shot by Jason Brickman to beat the buzzer.
And finishing it off late in the buzzer, goes in before the buzzer sound.
And it counts as we see what transpired here in the first quarter where LJ Gonzalez hit that free to begin festivities. ABRA got off to that 7-0 run, pero maganda yung pagtugon dito ng Quezon Huskers.
Really, for the most part, when you look at the shot chart of the Quezon Huskers, a lot of that is taken outside on threes and even inside the paint. This time, it got really good at perimeter shot making.
And of quarter number 1, lamang ang Quezon over ABRA 22-19.
Eric, we are practically tied in every category. Let's defend. Pababaan na lang ng score, and more importantly, you have to realize that this is a battleground and not a playground. So fight the good fight of faith. And so far, so good. Can Coach Frank?
Maraming salamat, Nika. And they're showing it right now, the way they've taken it right to ABRA at the get-go. And oftentimes, lalo in game number 1 in this building, Coach Mike, other teams have had trouble of dealing with the crowd, the way ABRA has been intimidating in the first minutes of the game. But Quezon, to their credit, they removed that tag of, alam nila, hindi lang sila South Division champions. They could achieve so much more, and they have a golden opportunity tonight. Christian Pagaran in transition, lays it up and in. Lamang ngayon sila ng 5 puntos, 24-19.
Well, I just want to say, Ken, you limit a team that averages 80-plus points per game in the ABRA Weavers. You limit them in the regular season to only 63 points on a 10-point loss. You would have done your part defensively.
Fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme X-Pump, personal karaoke speakers every day. Karaoke. Cholo Mendoza lost it. Kanino mapupunta ang bola? It will go to Quezon.
Yeah, it'll go to Quezon. And I wanted to point that out, Ken, yung kanina yung sa regular season meeting nila, because defensively, ginawa ba ng Huskers yung dapat nilang gawin, covering against the offense of the Weavers? Yes, but did they make their shots? No, that was the challenge in the regular season. And so I'd like to think Coach Eric has seen a template where they would have a chance against these Weavers.
Lagrama, pasa palabas kay Magbuhos. Outside, Gab Banal for 3. Way off. Rebound, Raven Gonzalez.
What you got to do if you're the Weavers, run it the other way every opportunity that you have.
Pagaran with those hands deflecting that. But Magbuhos and Banal not on the same page. Taiwan, though, not forcing up the pass intended to Serrano, will reset their offense. Mendoza, catch and shoot free. It will roll out. Kopeng, pasa kay Christian Pagaran. Pagaran trying to escape Serrano, but losing the basketball in the process. Mendoza onto the front court, attacking the defense of Lagrama. And Banal secures the rebound for the Huskers. Kopeng on the left side. Nakalusot kay Taiwan. Pasa kay Magbuhos. Titikada sa 3. No good. Gonzalez gives it up to Encho Serrano. 2 minutes gone by in the second period.
This is how much the defense has actually influenced the last few possessions for both these teams. Nobody getting an easy look, and everybody trying to, take shots against a defense right in front of them. And napakahalaga niyan, especially for the Quezon Huskers. If you keep bringing the score down, you are actually doing a good job if you're the Huskers. Now, if you're the Weavers, you got to be more efficient with your shots, because when you met them in the regular season, it was the threes of David Defonso that really led them to that victory. And without that right now, kailangan mo ibang umiscore.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Quezon still in front by 5, 24-19. Gonzalez returns. Bozo. Pinasa pabalik kay LJ. Has hit 2 threes already. This time he drives, floats it up and in. And this is now the biggest lead for the Huskers at 7 points, prompting Coach Yong Garcia to sue for time.
simple switches and help. That's been the challenge for the Weavers. They have made that defense rotate for the Quezon Huskers, and LJ Gonzalez on that two-man game just goes to that snake move, enough to finish with that floater amidst the bigs. The numbers that have actually led the Weavers to this point of the season.
What you're liking for Quezon right now, Coach Mike, is in that series against Binyan, actually for that entire series against them, not one team has eclipsed the 70-point mark. Hirap na hirap silang mag-generate ng kanilang opensiba. But here, it seems like they really found a rhythm. And we talked about how Quezon thrives on that as opposed to them breaking down their initial defender. Ball movement ang kanilang susi in terms of them being successful on that end of the floor.
At saka, maaring meron silang nakuha dun sa previous series against Binyan. You have to remember, they had to deal on the post with Mark Pingris and then Warren Bonifacio. Those two are tough in there. But right now, the way that this first game is, first quarter or the first initial quarters are being run, they're relatively finding easier ways to get to the gaps, get that ball, and make shots.
What a pass. And it finds the hands of Jason Opiso, pretty much automatic from that distance. Quezon is ahead by 9, 28-19. Ildefonso will nail a free over Cabanal.
Well, if there's one thing that you like about Dave hitting that three is that, you know, he continues to find his range, but the other guys gotta help out as well. Especially, I feel ang mas nagiging challenge dito yung depensa, yung pag-rotate, lalo na on the perimeter coverages.
Sa loob, Opiso challenging the defense of Gonzalez. Mike to Dave. Now it's with Marwin Taiwan.
You gotta watch out for Dave. He might be set up for another three here.
The pass to Mike Ayonayon. Ildefonso, pinapantayan ni Hierro. Puts up the free again, and he scores!
Oh, wow. A nonchalant, one-legged, got that ball very high, but he still was able to recover, regroup himself, and, you know, take that shot despite the defense of Hierro. Hierro doesn't know where that shot was going to come, and he just let go that one-legged three way up bottom of the net.
Back-to-back threes from Dave Ildefonso. This one earlier over the outstretched arms of Gabana. He trims the gap to 3 points, 28-25, prompting Coach Eric Gonzalez to call for a timeout. And of course, Kong JB Bernos, Kong Ching Bernos in attendance, along with Governor Takit Bersamin, Mayor Esther Bernos of Danglas, Mayor Nina Bernos of La Paz, and Mayor Andrea Bernos of Bukay. Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes with Rudy Distrito, Emer Oreta. Lot of personalities for game number 1. Lahat sila, no? Halos lahat. Naklakbay mula Maynila papunta dito po sa napakagandang probinsya ng ABRA to begin festivities here. But so far, Quezon doing a great job. Sila ang lamang dito, although Ildefonso has come alive in the last minute for the Weavers.
Yeah, you have to watch out for Dave Ildefonso because he was the guy that torched them in the regular season loss when they played here against the Weavers.
Banal, the pass to Sandagon. Sandagon inside, rejected by Raven Gonzalez.
It's tough to get off a shot against Raven, you know that. Not that easy.
Approaching the halfway point of the second period. Abra swinging the ball to Marwin Taiwan. Pasa pabalik kay Ildefonso. Switch by Sandagon. Ildefonso maintains his dribble. Fires a free. In and out. That would have tied it.
Well, he had the right thing in mind. He wanted to draw that defense and take a shot over it.
Banal. Trying to break down the defense of Gonzalez. Pinasa muna kay Sandagon. Ang bantay niya si Simon Camacho. The cut by Opiso. Pasa palabas. Banal. Masyadong malakas yung kanyang tres. Actually, Gonzalez altered that shot. Shake and bake. Mike Ayonayon misses. Ball tapped by a Husker. It will stay with the Weavers.
I'm sure si Coach Eric okay siya doon kahit na natapik yung bola palabas nitong Quezon Huskers because coaches always tell you you have to end your defensive stop with a defensive rebound. And right there, Gabanal and even LJ Gonzalez really trying to secure it. Kaya lang yung kalaban nila medyo malaki rin, JHU and Raven Gonzalez, and so they touched it last before it went out.
RJ Minerva, who also did a yeoman's job of getting Mark Pingres into foul trouble early in game number 5. Ildefonso, one-legged shot. He's worked on that shot tirelessly, Coach Mike.
Is it high time now that we change that D to Dirk instead of Dave? That's one-legger of Dave has really produced here for the Weavers here in the second.
It's a traveling violation against LJ Gonzalez, the ABRA Solid North Weavers, in the midst of an 8-0 run, all coming from this guy, Dave Ildefonso.
And almost the very same shot attempt, that off-legged shot with a lot of air underneath that shot, allowing it to find the bottom of the rim.
Pagkakataon na lumamang para sa ABRA. Mike turns down the shot. Now he pulls up. He will miss. A pushing foul will be whistled against RJ Minerva, however.
You see, Ken, how nung pinasa nila yung bola sa poste kay Alfred Batino, the Huskers weren't panicking because they'd seen that in that Binyan series. And so they understood where that ball was gonna go. Unfortunately, there was a foul call on them.
10 seconds left on their shot clock. Batino working on Minerva. He backs him down. 2 seconds left on their shot clock. Gonzalez, the one-hander. It is short. And sky high for the board was Christian Pagaran.
And again, if you're going to try and dig in from the post against the Huskers, walang problema yan. They understood coverages na, especially with that Binyan series.
Gonzalez na agaw yung bola. Pasa kay Taiwan. Gonzalez will slam it down to take the lead back for the Weavers. And Coach Eric Gonzalez has seen enough. One of those droughts. As we check out the fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
And Raven Gonzalez does not only block shots, he also steals possessions and runs the length of the floor if you allow him. And he's just that very aggressive big man that runs the entire length of the floor for the Weavers.
10 unanswered points for ABRA, prompting Quezon to zoom for time.
Key to a championships. It's patience, perseverance, and a lot of mental toughness to get through the chemistry of the Huskers. They have the best passers, three-point shooters, running bigs. We need to outwork that. Coach Young looks up to the whole coaching staff of Quezon, its players, more importantly, Fuentes, Opiso, who were his former players in CEU. Mula high school to college, Judel had a few MVP awards and rings with Coach Young. Alam ko ang kapasidad ng mga yan, and he knows that when he plays, whether in game 2 or 3, it will be hard. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. And Coach Young Garcia, amidst all the storm, Judel Fuentes is a good sign that he is cleared to play in one of these games. But right now, ABRA, 12-0 run, 8 points from David Ildefonso, the last 4 from Raven Gonzalez, and that time halted by that basket by Joseph Cabaini, cutting the lead down to 31-30.
And Coach Eric, every time he needs heft and height inside the paint, he always goes to Joseph Cabaini, who was big in that latter games of that series against Binyan, especially in game number 5. And so the hope is, he continues to be that kind of guy for Coach Eric.
Wayward pass from Lagrama. Good thing they recovered the basketball. 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The crossover dribble by Topeng. Ball tap by Ildefonso. Shot clock winding down. Dave dives on the floor. Sends it to Taiwan. As Pagaran forced to give up the foul. But down on the floor is Topeng Lagrama.
But Topeng twice lost that rock on that side of the floor. Pretty much too close to the sideline. Almost that trap area. And Gabaini right there with that good finish against Raven Gonzalez.
Play of the game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit, your game, your chance, your thrill, only with 747 Live.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Eric, you love that quick impact itong si Joseph Gabaini, especially on that big spot inside the paint. the makes that have been missing in the second quarter for the Huskers have been threes and perimeter jumpers. Everything else has almost been exclusive inside the paint for the Huskers.
Brickman to Serrano. One-hander by Encho Mintes. Rebound grab by Joseph Gabayni.
Ganda talaga ng binibigay na presence inside ni Joseph Gabayni. Yung sipag at punggo, talagang napakalaking bagay.
Both teams, unbelievably, have yet to take a free throw, and we're winding down already the second period. Just goes to show you the discipline of both these squads on the defensive side of the floor.
Clearly, you don't send anybody to the free throw line. You're not, fouling shot takers, and you're really just challenging, honestly. And you're staying right in front of every guy, and every gap is always filled. So hindi ganun kadali for those cuts to come in. I'd like to think, if I review correctly, a lot of the assists have really come from, especially for the Weavers, on fast breaks.
Itong free throw na ito ay hatid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Gabayni nails the first free throw. These are the first two free throws of the game.
And it comes from Joseph. And ganyan kahalaga ako sa sariling opinion ko, the way that he performed in game number 5 against Binyan. You have movable bigs in Simon Sandagon and even Gab Banal, Vince Magbuhos, but Joseph Gabayni really just brings in a different dynamic on that big spot for Coach Eric and the Huskers.
Missing the back end of his free throws though. That's why this remains a tight game. 31 apiece. Bagsak si Abundo. Sumaksak si Batino. At siya rin ay tutungo sa free throw line as he got fouled. 63 seconds remaining in the first half.
And one of the things that also the Huskers have done in that regular season game was to always go under on ball screens, really, almost tempting every Weaver to take a three-point shot. That time around, they found that roller in Batino, and he is just similar to Gabayni, very hefty inside the paint.
Pero yung mga offensive rebounds and shot opportunities,
yes,
na extra na nabibigay niya sa ABRA, especially in those last two series against Caloocan and
correct,
Pangasinan, were really key in them emerging victorious in both those two squads.
Oo, dalawang series yon, yung Caloocan and Pangasinan, kung saan rebounding nga naman talaga naging very busy para dito sa ABRA Weavers in that series. And so for them to come in here, bring that same mentality off the boards, should bode well for Coach Yong and the rest of the Weavers.
LJ Gonzalez with 8 points. ABRA settling into a 2-3 zone.
Right.
Switching things up. Baseline drive by Yero. The fake. The finish from Vince Magbuhos.
I like to think initially they tried to go on a zone, but once that dribble penetration or that ball gets in the post, they immediately switch it to man. Speaking of the Weavers.
30 seconds left in the second period. Brickman. Ball deflected by LJ Gonzalez. He is now off to the races. He will pull it back out, recognizing that they could opt for the last shot of the half. 11 seconds remaining. LJ getting past Jason Brickman. Abundo is free for a free. Rebound Uduba, still enough time for the Weavers. Ildefonso rejected by Gabayni. And that signals the end of the first two quarters, where the Quezon Huskers had their biggest lead at 9 points. ABRA behind Raven Gonzalez and Dave Ildefonso capped the first two quarters. Actually, it's the Huskers in front 33-31 over ABRA at the half.